Welcome, welcome. Hey everybody, it's Kisa. It's Coach K. I hope all is going your way this evening. Yes, yes, yes. Good day to you. Just adjusting my microphone here so you all can see my sign back there. In fact, let me step out of the way so you can see it. Wishing you love, peace, and soul. That's what they used to say on Soul Train back in the day. So, hey, everybody, welcome in. Welcome in on this Wednesday. Hey, we're going to continue the conversation. Isn't that music a little bit cool that I've just never used before with StreamYard? It's always been there. I just never used it. But I love it, love it, love it. Listen, what I want you to know is that we are going to continue this conversation for the next couple of days on dating and whether or not we're doing it all wrong. So we're going to continue the conversation about dating. And then we have a special feature on Friday, Evolve. So normally I come on with Evolve and I come on about 12 o'clock during the day and talk to my friends and debut different things. But recently I've gotten into a little bit of a deal where last week I had an opportunity to talk to my brother Joe Lockett, and we talked about just his reaction to the series that I was doing on narcissism. Okay, so because I'm talking one way at you all, I'm talking one way. So rather than just talk one way, I thought, why not bring on some people and get reaction to what you're doing and what you have going? So we had a pretty good conversation, and I would encourage you to take a look at his conversation and his reaction to the series, Are You Dating a Narcissist? I wanted to hear from a guy who was going to give me some honest feedback. And Joe Lockett, Mr. Joe Lockett, he will give honest feedback. So I want you to check that out. It's on my page, and that was last Friday. Had a lot of people actually tuning in and chiming in to the conversation from what we posted last week. So coming up this Friday, we're going to be on at 6 p.m., me and a couple of my female friends, and we're going to be talking about their reaction to this series. Are we dating all wrong? Thank you for tuning in. We do this 6 o'clock each night. We'll be on Friday instead of noon for Evolve. We'll be on at 6 p.m. that night. So grab your drinks, grab you some snacks, and listen to our conversation, and even join in the conversation with us about dating and are we doing it all wrong? Want your honest feedback. You may agree with us, you may not agree, but either way, it's all made for love. We can agree tastefully and respectfully, but I'd love for you to tune in, and I'd love for you to chime in the conversation. And always remember, you're a blessing to us by liking and sharing the broadcast, because more people need the information. And here's what you need to know too quickly. When I come to you and bring you information, I'm entering into the conversational space. It's not ever to tell you you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong. I'm going to say some things that are going to generate comments, that are going to generate debate. That's what I want. I want you to talk to me. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. I'm not saying you have to agree with my ideology. My goodness, we're grown. And at this point, I'm 52. If a lot of my friends are going to be in that 50 plus crew, not all, but some, most, a lot. We're grown. So what we believe is what we believe. I'm not trying to fight you on your opinion and your ideology, not trying to do that. Just want to have some conversation. Let's have some conversation around dating. Let's talk. Because the problem is we're not talking anymore. So, welcome in. And what's our topic tonight? Are we dating all wrong? And let me go ahead and start off. Are we doing it all wrong? What's your opinion? And if so, why? Hit me up in the comments. Tell me if you think we're doing it all wrong, or if not, are we making much ado about nothing? Are we just making much ado about nothing, or are we really doing it all wrong? So I want to hear from you, okay, about this whole dating deal, right? So let me pose an idea to you tonight, okay? So there is this talk about women and men who are being a little bit too easy. Ever heard of that? You're being too easy. And you know what happens when you're too easy? It could decrease your value. You know, I'm always like this. Let me see what's out there. I want to kind of generate some conversation around this. Listen, we're not ever, I'm not ever going to come on here and tell you that my opinion is totally the gospel. You all have opinions. You all are thinking men and women. But let me pull up some conversation now. Be warned. Be warned. She's going to say some racy things, but I'm going to encourage you, eat the fish, spit out the bones. Eat the fish, spit out the bones. But some of the things that she says may be spot on. Other things, but I do want to hear from you. What do you think about what this young lady has to say?
Somebody has to say this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. A lot of y'all women make it so easy for men to play with you, especially the ones that love begging men for money. Like, you're just showing you can be bought. It's like, are you trying to be a prostitute or are you trying to find your man? Because at this point, everybody's confused. Because what makes you different when you begging? Like, bye. Like, a lot of women, when they're around men, they get very vulnerable and they start wearing the insecurities on their sleeves, not knowing that the guy is peeping it and already plotting on what to do with you. And most likely, he ain't lasting with you. Before a man respects you, you got to respect yourself.
Okay.
Hey, y'all, so let me tell you something real quick.
Hold on. Enough of that. I thought some of the things that she said was valid. Not everything for sure. Before a man respects you, you got to respect yourself. Okay. So that is definitely. What I want you to do is read this. Read that. Read it yet? What do you think about that? Stop being an easy girl. Don't make your life allow them to make it win you. Who cares if you walk away? You don't want fake, lazy, romantic guys in our lives. You close one door, another one opens. Don't be afraid. Don't feel afraid. What do you think about that? I thought I'd share those things because is there a space and place in our life where sometimes we're too easy in dating? What do I mean when I say that? Because I'm throwing out a lot of phrases this week that could be and are definitely subject to interpretation. And here's what I mean. Whether it's on the and listen, please understand that I'm going with the philosophy that in dating, in romantic relationships, and in our pursuit or in our entering into these romantic relationships, I am going with the assumption and on the side, and this is from guy friends, from male friends, that the man is the one who, if we're going to look at correct order, is the one who's going to be in the role of pursuer. Talk to a number of my male friends. I've heard from a number of my male friends. Talk to a number of guys, family, friends, all in between. And most will tell you men want to be and should be in the role of pursuing a woman. If you don't agree with me, that's fine. If you feel that there are things that you are supposed to do to help him make up his mind, I'm not here to argue with you. But this is what I'm getting. And so I'm on this side. We're dealing with this ideology because from most of my male friends, most of the male coaches, that is the path in which most men choose. And granted, it's not every man. Some men may be okay with a woman pursuing them. Some, and certainly not everyone. There's certainly exceptions to the rule. But most are going to be the hunters, okay? Most men want to be the hunters, even if they're low key. Now, as a woman, we're talking about dating now, dating in 2024. It's okay to put yourself in the way. It's okay to let him know that you're interested. But we're talking about pursuit in terms of pursuit. And for my guys who are watching, I want you to help me out. Is that correct? Do you believe in 2024 that the role of the man is to still pursue the woman? Or in 2024, are we on the side of the woman being the one who can pursue now? Help me out. Am I out there by myself? Ladies, you can chime in too. But for purposes of this video, we're on that side that men are normally going to be in that role of being the pursuers. So if that is the case, the video is asking of us tonight, when dating, ladies, are we being too easy and are we being too available? What do I mean when being too easy? You go out on a couple of dates with a guy. He's bought you some meals. Let's say you've gone out on 2 or 3 dates. He's bought you some meals. So now you are opening up the floodgates of your affection, of your home, and of your time. You're going to be available every time he calls. Whenever he calls you, you're going to be available. You're picking up on the third ring or the first ring because, oh my gosh, he's a good guy because he's taken me out to eat 3 times like he said. He's shown up on time. I mean, he's called me, several times during the week. So now I get to shower my love and affection upon him. If he asks you to come over and if he wants to spend the night or if he wants to engage in intimacy with you, okay, we've gone out on 3 dates, then guess what? He's got to be the one because he's been consistent. Now, granted, this is only within a month's time. This is only what you've seen. You've only seen 1 month of his entire life. And I'm bringing a dose of reality to all of this. But after that 3rd date, you're just like, oh, it has to be the one. He's done what he said he's going to do. He's shown up, and don't let him go to church. Hallelujah. Oh, Lord, I feel the spirit on that one. Don't let him go to church. Don't let him go to church with you. He's hubby. Don't let him go to church. He's hubby. Furthermore, and I'm being facetious when I say this, I'm definitely not being facetious with the Lord. Okay, I'm not playing with that. But definitely don't let him say that he's reads the Bible or quotes scripture or stand on the word or let him not even pray with you in that first month or first couple of weeks or first couple of months. I don't care if you see him. This is Kisa, okay? Now I'm going to step away from being objective. Let's exit off screen. Okay, so now this is Kisa coming back, okay? All I can say to you is, I don't care if he's floating and a halo what follows him wherever he goes. I don't care if she's floating and a halo follows her wherever she goes. You just see this, it appears to be this white ring around her head or this white whatever around her body. You still need to watch it. And you still need to take your time. And you still don't need to be so easy. And why do I say that? Do you know that manipulation is real? And do you know that manipulation is rampant? And if we're going to go Bible and say, oh, it looks spiritual, oh, it looks like an angel. For all of my Christianese and Bible scholars, the Bible talks about how Satan himself can be transformed and appear to be an angel of light. If it's real, if it's godly, it will stand the test of time. But they go to church with you, they quote a few scriptures, and my goodness, they've got to be wifey. They've got to be husband. Let me encourage you to slow down. Let me encourage you to think it through, and let's not be so easy. I don't care if you don't know them within a certain amount of time. You don't open up your home. You don't open up your heart. And you do not open up the whole of your mind, I believe, to someone whom you do not know that well. If it is to be, and if they are sincere, it's going to stand the test of time. And I'm just like this, and I think maybe even this is simplistic, but I'm going to go there anyway. We have 4 seasons in a year. And I believe that there are some parallels to natural, plain, simple life that God gives us. We have 4 seasons in a year. 4. There's winter, spring, summer, fall. Each season brings something different, okay? And each season has to cycle throughout 1 year's time. You can't rush it. You understand? You can't rush it and you can't slow it down. We know that each season is going to last 3 months. At least give someone a season to see what they will produce. At least give them a season. No one can really hide over an extended period of time. So I wouldn't dare make a joke about the Christianese and the halo effect and all of that great stuff. They may very well be God's chosen, but still, there are times you give it the test of time. Now, if you have a word from the Lord, that's entirely different. Okay, I'm not dealing with that, but I'm saying for the most part, there is wisdom in waiting. And let me just say this. I can't speak to the gentleman out there, okay? But I can speak to the ladies because I'm a lady. Ladies, we don't have to give everything. Let me go back to that point. We don't have to give everything. Stop being so easy and thinking that you've got to give and buy him. No, some things we withhold. We withhold precious things. We withhold the deep and inner thoughts of our mind until this person has proven they can handle that. And certainly we withhold the more precious parts of our body, don't we? We're not just looking for him to buy us a couple of dinners and talk a couple of good words, and then we open up our hearts and we open up our homes or even our bodies just because it appears that it's a love connection. Oh, I could tell you some things about what appears. But if you stand back, be objective, and listen at this. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment and enjoy the moment. Because a lot of times we are, whether it's biological clock ticking, whether it's, we've got to be at the altar by a certain time, slow down. Because we want what, and listen, I'm not criticizing you as someone who cannot understand. I can be touched with the feelings of this because I'm a woman. I know. We're racing somewhere. We're trying to get somewhere. And so as a result, we're just, oh gosh, we're just waiting to hear certain things. And once we hear those certain things, that's it. Okay, good. We're ready to go. Then we start with these images of being, at the altar in our wedding gown, going and having these children and having a family. And listen, if only life were so simple. Marriage is something that's easy to get into, but it can be challenging to unhook from that covenant, okay? Because really, you don't know the state of that person. Until you observe them, you don't know what their state is or what they're capable of once they get into something of that nature, and the stress that goes along with that and the embarrassment that goes along with that. No, we need to see, I'm including myself in this as well. We need to see people in all seasons. We need to see how they respond in all things. And only time is going to tell us that. So what is my simple admonishment to us today, ladies? Stop being so easy. Stop being so easy just because he's done a nice thing or two or three. Listen, this is my belief. And if you all disagree with me, you have every right to say so, okay? You have every right to say so. But here's my deal. Tell me if I'm incorrect, then tell me what is the right way to do this. If I'm incorrect, what is the right way to do this? And guys, am I out here by myself? Is it sometimes that women are so easy? And ladies, not only do I believe it can decrease our value, but with guys being hunters, if they're getting everything that they need up front, what reason are they hunting anymore? And listen to me very carefully on this. There are some guys who will gladly take everything that you give them up front. They'll gladly take it. They'll gladly take your money. They'll gladly take your gifts. They'll gladly take your home cooked meals. They'll gladly take you washing their clothes. They'll gladly take you giving them any and everything that you want to give, including of yourself, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, okay? And 3 spins, okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about. They'll take all of that. And then come to the conclusion, well, that was easy. Let me move on to the next challenge. But most will not tell you that they are not going to take that. If you find a guy who says to you, no, listen, I like you, but we're not going to move there. Mark that man. And there's some who will. If he really cares about you, he's not always going to just be trying to go to the goal line. So what am I saying? I'm saying slow down and let's be committed to remain, not be, because I believe you're already classy, a classy woman and a classy man. Let's be committed to remaining classy and also just remaining honest, slowing down, and just staying in our place of power, in center of power, because self-discipline is power. Your presence, it is an honor to be in your presence. It's an honor to go on a date with you. But oftentimes we have a problem receiving. So that's why we're always trying to give, because we have a problem receiving. And really, that's rooted in a faulty sense of self, because approval should come from simply being who you are, not what you do. We should expect approval from people based on who we are, not on what we do. And really and truly, I believe that people, they want who we are, not what we bring to the table. Out of our love for them, out of our respect for them, we'll bring things to the table. So what is this? It's just a call to remember, or to be thinking as you're dating, ladies. I can't speak to the gentleman about how to date. I am giving you game though. And I'm asking my sisters to, step back and think and withhold some things which are precious and stop being so easy. That is the message tonight, okay? Stop being so easy. Stop doing too much. Stop giving too much. That was another lesson that I had, but it applies here too. Stop doing too much. Stop giving so much. I am for you. But I also believe if we start thinking about some of these things, if we really start questioning ourselves and calling ourselves into task, I believe that there are some things that will change for us. I believe that when we question whether or not we're being too easy, when we question ourselves, when we call ourselves to task, when we hold ourselves accountable. And I'll tell you what, I love to give takeaways from today. So here's a takeaway. Get you an accountability brother or sister and talk them through it when you're dating someone, not that you don't know what to do, but just talk to them, because people can sometimes have a better view. And we're talking about somebody who loves you and who has your best interest at heart, and ask them, am I doing too much? What do you think? And I'm talking about someone who's sound in wisdom now, not just, Shantiqua, or Eddie James off the street, who's going to give you some hood rat information or some faulty information. That's the wrong way to say that, but faulty information. I'm talking about someone who has your best interest at heart, who's going to give you sound wisdom in dating. And ask them, am I being too easy? What does this look like? What do guys respect? And ladies, let me tell you, one of the best assets that you can have in your back pocket is a brother who can peep game for you. And I don't mean a natural born brother, but I mean a friend, a guy who cares about you, who will tell you the truth about game. Say, hey, sis, yeah, you're doing a little bit too much. Maybe you need to back up a little bit. Guys don't really like that. And that kind of keeps us accountable, because I know, you can get into doing some things and you think you're right. And oh my gosh, like I said, when you start dating and things just appear to click, oh my goodness, it's like game on, it's like you're rushing. I know, been there, done that. Love the feeling of that. But if only I could live by feeling. If only you could live by feeling. We don't live by feeling. We have to live by experiential life. And also, I'm a faith person. I'm a believer, so I walk by faith as well. But what I mean is my feelings are unstable. Our feelings are unstable. They are subject to change. But I believe God gives us wisdom in order to get wisdom. So we understand that when we make these decisions, that we'll know, at least mostly, what we're getting into. Now, you'll never know everything about a person, never, until you really marry them. And even then, that's unveiled. But you can certainly make a decision that puts you in a position of strength, where you know and have seen a lot of different things. You've seen some things. And let me conclude by saying this tonight. Don't ignore the red flags. You're the person who's giving everything. You're the person who is spending all the money. You're the person who's giving all the favors. You're doing all. Stop being so easy. Stop being so giving. It's okay to withhold. It's okay to require reciprocity. This is a word that's come up in this dating arena. It's okay to require that. It's okay to match energy for energy. It's okay to say, I'm going to peel back a little bit. I notice he's not calling as much. I notice she's not calling as much. I notice that she doesn't seem to be as interested in having a conversation with me anymore. She's not interested really in going out and doing anything as often as we did before. Let me stand down a little bit. Not assume, not accuse. Just stand down and watch. Reciprocity is a beautiful thing. Not tit for tat. There is a difference, but reciprocity requiring the same respect and the same investment that you give. Not early on when you're first meeting someone. I'm talking exclusive relationship here. Give me a little bit of grace, okay? But I'm trying to cover all my bases. But even in that, even in friendships, there's a reciprocity that should be expected, okay? Not a tit for tat, but an investment. If I'm investing in you, I have a right to expect you'll invest in me. Maybe not in the same way, but I do have a right to expect that, okay? In some form or some fashion. If not, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're going to find ourselves depleted and angry and resentful because we're like, I'm always the one who's giving. No, what that's saying to you is you need to stop. Maybe it's time to stop. Change the playbook. Don't always be the one to give. Stand down sometimes. I mean, and for a giver, that can be tough. Because really, it's not about the other person, it's about you. So anyway, being too easy. Am I out here by myself? Can y'all talk to me and tell me what you think? I would love to hear from you in the comments, okay? Hope you have a super fantastic evening. We're back tomorrow with our last look at dating. Are we doing it all wrong? And one other tip to consider. And then remember, on Friday, we're going to have our evening kickback, and you're invited. Friday at 6 p.m. too. Get your drinks, get your snacks, join in the conversations. I want to hear from you. Me and two of my girlfriends, okay? Me and two of my good girlfriends. We're talking about dating, and are we doing it all wrong? We'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. And I thank you for tuning in, y'all. Have a super fantastic night. And by the way, I'm Kisa, Coach K. I just kind of got into all of that tonight, didn't I? And didn't even give you the information on how you can contact me. But that's okay, because there is the information right there. So anyway, I want to say thank you. I want to say that I appreciate you. And I want to also say that I will see you. Have a great day, everyone. And we'll talk to you a little bit later. Goodbye.